Welcome back to Path of Exile 2. I think we got slightly better stability here today. Did go out back into the marsh a bit and test some things. Seems like it's working slightly better. Over here at the Ziggurat, yeah, lots of people to talk to, lots of stuff to do, lots of places to go. Let's talk to just everybody. Like Alva.
Hello. I'm Alva Valai. We can always use another pair of hands around here. Be sure to talk to Oswald, as he usually likes to greet the newcomers. In any case, welcome.
Yeah. Welcome indeed. Explore the Ziggurat encampment. Legacy of Val. Let's get some information about what is going on here at the Ziggurat encampment.
This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit. I intend to call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there.
All of the secrets and all the layers. Definitely seems like there's been quite the history in this world. Lots of stuff. The search.
So you're looking for a device the Val intended to use against the Cataclysm? Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The Ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people. If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first.
What kind of device?
It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret, even from Etziri. As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Val writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it.
That's honestly about where we are here, with the corruption and problems. Last resorts sounds like what we need. More information on Doriani.
By their final days, the Val were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Etziri herself. Exile was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss.
Then the Queen.
How do I even begin to describe the last Queen of the Val? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent and capable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty empire of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Val writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions. Sometimes while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it?
But you get treasure, so it's all good. Wonder if they have any information on the beast. They don't really come this way, but
I've heard of the beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end.
yep. What do you think about the hooded one?
That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though.
And any information you have on just the whole jungle here.
Something tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common. But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Vaal. For academic reasons, of course. But a bit of treasure never goes amiss.
I do like some treasure. We can buy or sell things here.
Plenty of choices.
Huh. You need to identify some stuff still. That's this is the gambling store. We could spend some of our money on buying chances at things. Just every different piece of things. 8,000 for an amulet chance.
Not today. Until next time.
It's an option.
This woman is curious. I wish to know more of her.
We already asked all the questions. Oswald.
What kind of stunt was that? Traversing the marsh. Have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive. I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you disappear in the jungle, I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
You cannot forever outrun death. Why let it shackle you?
Where's Oswald going? Here's the hooded one. This is the well, apparently. Here's the stash. Should be able to find the place to break these things down here. I would assume that exists. So the skill gem have 3 support gem sockets. But we're looking if anything we think would benefit from that. Here's Serby.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh?
Yep.
Truly you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in this region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed.
Could definitely take some help. Local knowledge.
She knows how to part fools from their coin. Clever.
Information here and here, I guess.
Everything here can kill you. A snake you can't see, a strange plant, even one of your own. Survival in the jungle depends upon learning the lessons from those who died before you. That's the wisdom of my tribe. And since these treasure hunters pay me so well, I don't mind sharing. Haha. Any place you want to know about, come to me with questions, and I will tell you what I know.
Okay. This is where we're going to drain the entire city here. We're just up on the tippy top here. Like a dam over here. I need to make our way over there somehow.
Everything here can kill you. That's any place.
Here are the jungle ruins. All the fields of the city of Exile are now nothing but tangled jungle. It's the other spot they're talking about. That's where the Tennis guy was at. Got more ruins over here. Bridge kind of look over here.
The jungle ruins are full of deadly creatures, you know. Quadrillas can tear a man apart in seconds, but at least you can hear them coming. The real danger? The apes that drop down from above. Life is plenty here, thriving for generations. But death always comes for the careless.
Sounds about right. Let's see it over here, Oswald. The Ziggurat encampment.
The Ziggurat beneath us was once the Temple of the Sun God, one of the oldest built in the city of Exile's religious district. It was in active use for at least 1,000 years, but when the Vile Cataclysm struck, the city flooded, presumably killing everyone inside. Good thing for us, because this lake is the only reason it hasn't been ransacked by other treasure hunters already. One man's mass death is another man's treasure, I suppose.
So you're the treasure hunters.
I log everything here, so I can catalogue the thousands of ways to die the jungle offers. If you can, be sure to write some sort of final entry detailing how you died. The death log won't benefit you, of course, but it will certainly benefit me. I don't mean to be overly fatalistic, but the amateurs coming from Kingsmarch are accomplishing nothing but feeding the chimeras. The most I can do, as quartermaster, is ensure they're equipped for exploration. That's where the real profit in treasure hunting is, you see. I don't go out there if I can help it. I'm the unluckiest man alive. Yet, I'm the wealthiest in this camp. You have to be good when you're trading with the Kalgurans, or they'll fleece you.
How many people came from Kingsmarch and then died in the jungle?
Ah, Kingsmarch. So called by the Kalgurans. They're newcomers to Rayclast. About 20 years now. They're traders by nature. In fact, they've partially funded this very expedition. For some reason, they're very interested in Vaal artifacts. We ship most of what we find back to Kingsmarch, and they pay handsomely for it.
And he is also the quartermaster here, so we can buy or sell. Maybe with any of this stuff. Some basic armors here. Energy shield helmets here. Decent amount. Just life regen or mana. This has plus to its own energy shield for a little bit. Accuracy, max life, max mana, light radius. It's alright. Regular stuff. And some more stuff. 2 charm slots on this one. That's nice. 118 armor. 1 with charm effect duration. Recovery, flash charge used. Life recovery from flasks. It's just better. Okay. I guess these are the weapons. This has no weapons we can use. Which is interesting.
Don't get eaten.
Okay. Here's the salvage bench. That's good. Yeah, these that we can salvage down. Whether these are of any use to us is a different question, but, you know. Here's Oswald's death journal.
Gregory Trenowith. They survived. 202. Heart attack from grief after burning the animated corpse of his wife. Clements Trenowith. They survived. 202. Head eaten by the animated corpse of Florence Cayley. Oswin Shipwash. They survived. 98. Stopped to pet a chimera. Clements Trenowith. They survived. Mabel Sow. They survived. Unknown. Kept to herself mostly. Vanished at some point. Nobody's sure. Oswin Shipwash. They survived. Jeffrey Mond. They survived. 59. Vanished in broad daylight from the middle of our encampment. Strike that. Corpse found in a tree high above, suspended by an unidentifiable sticky substance.
It's got giant spiders. Oh boy.
Gregory Trenowith.
Alright. That's the way of the jungle ruins, over that way. The hooded one here, right next to the water we need to get rid of. Continues down that way, but only once we get rid of the water. And then over here was the waypoint. Yep. We can go out on this. What a safe spot to stand. Alright. And talk to Hoodwin.
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake. We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of the vow.
Search for the mountain waterways. What do you know about the vow?
It is strange to return to this place of my divine youth and see it so aged and forgotten. When I was here, the Vaal were the height of civilization, and the future was bright. They had their problems like any other people, but I thought I could free them from the moral hazards of divinity by removing gods from the equation. While we are here, I would like to discover whether this ruination is my fault, or whether something else happened to them.
Well, they were messing with corruption and stuff, so I'm sure that wasn't helping anything. Search for the mountain waterways. The only way we really have to go here is forwards.
Hello there.
Serbian Oswald.
Servi has been a fantastic ally to us here. Her people have lived in the vicinity of Exile for countless generations, so she's been able to show us all the most interesting Vaal ruins. The accessible ruins were all looted long ago, of course, but the lake around us has protected most of this city since the end of the Vaal Empire.
Oswald?
Oswald's a grim sort, isn't he? He's always injury this, death that. Personally, I've never been hurt while treasure hunting. I actually find it rather easy. He always makes sure we have the proper supplies and checks his list for everything 4 or 5 times before we make a move. He also invented what I call the Oswald technique. On the rare occasions he personally goes out with us, he throws a rock at absolutely everything before touching it. Every flagstone, every pillar, every statue. You'd be positively amazed at the elaborate traps he sets off, even in places I've walked through already.
When it works, it works.
Good luck.
Huh.
Apus is my grandson. Can you believe that? A young spry thing like me. A grandmother. Don't be answering that. Apus inherited my son's rowdy spirit. Maybe it's a family curse. We have always been the type to do what we shouldn't. Like helping outsiders such as yourself. One day, he'll be a great man. Just like his father. Until then, I try to keep him safe.
Okay.
Some odds and ends.
Sell
found
some
in the
stuff.
jungle.
These armored gloves.
I'll take
Can't
it.
use. Ring. Cast speed, physical damage to attacks, mana regeneration, and light radius. Currently have max mana, accuracy, increased cast speed. That's the same increased cast speed. This is max mana and accuracy, physical damage to attacks, mana regeneration rate, light radius. I don't even know if the physical damage will count for our attacks, because they are spells. 18% mana regeneration compared to plus 29 max mana. Extra hydration might be better. This is fire resistance, lightning damage to attacks, and regen. I think max mana is probably better for right now. Very similar. I need this ring then.
My tribe could use that.
Here's some other weapons and stuff that we can use. Well, 9 decompose, gain 19 life per enemy killed. Bomb, expand life per kill. Higher level staff here. Bone blast, max mana regeneration. Spell physical damage, freeze buildup. Spell damage. Spell critical damage. Freezing shards. +2 intelligence. 662 life. Uses 8. That's kind of better. Because it only uses 8 charges. This uses the 10 still. And this also wouldn't drain our mana. To be able to use more charges there. Would be 9. This one's 7. Total healing would probably be pretty similar too. Take this one.
One sip could save your life.
That's good to me. Here we got a charm. Immunity to ignite. Okay. It uses 60 of 80 charges. That's quite a few. 251. Nope. Got more of the magic stuff here. Armor with the other guy. Random stuff. Okay.
Don't drink the water.
We got uncut skill gem here. Guess we'll upgrade flammability.
Flammability.
Nope. That's something. Now, did we want to try to use this on anything? What would we put on something if we did? Is that the option? This is the spell this. Is that the skill effect duration? So basically it has a duration, making that duration shorter. It's just going to be the hover duration. So we could decrease our slightly stronger ones' hover durations. That can make a huge difference. What else will we be able to put in here? Injury shield recharge with stun when using support skills. And if we can put that in there. Injury shield becomes immediately does not drive by damage for 2 seconds when stunned. Support any skill you can use, causing supports any skill that you can use, causing energy shield recharge to begin immediately if you're stunned while using it. That's probably pretty good. Put that in here. Because we're using that more often. Our gem version, Ember Fuselon. That's got 3 spins. Don't want the cooldown. We get our bonus energy shield, I guess. Other options we have. Freeze buildup? 50% more freeze buildup isn't going to do anything. Area of effect. No explosion? Hover, blast. Skill effect duration. Sword attack gains 20% damage as extra fire damage. 50% cold and lightning damage. Ah, that actually might be better. E2. Oh, it doesn't work. Only works for support stuff. Okay. Solar orb. Spinning mana. Do that. Freeze stuff. That might not do anything. Skill effect duration. Not as important. Piercing, I don't think it would do anyways. Okay. still have chain. Put that on something, I guess. Might as well. Chain on this. What's this do? Chain 100% more times. Deal 50% less damage. All these look like a chain. Flame wall, flame relay, Estel, incinerate, vision suit, solar orb cannon. But let's just put it into things. Chain on the flame ball, fireball. See what that does. That's less damage if it can keep blasting around more. Could be helpful. In theory.
How goes it?
Okay. So where is this person they were talking about? Also, not seeing the guy that was just out in the marsh. I don't know what happened with that. I can't worry about it too much. I suppose right now into the jungle ruins. Let's just get in here, activate the waypoint. Let's start here. Look at what it looks like, at least. Oh yeah, we got a new town. Ready to start from. Usually we get recharged after 4 seconds without taking damage. Yep. And the faster it recharges after those 4 seconds, the better. Which is what we're currently putting our levels into. That's nice. The jungle ruins. Here we are. Explore beyond the jungle ruins in search of the wetland waterways.
The mighty Val Empire, now just an overgrown jungle.
Here's a checkpoint. Are we not immediately getting the waypoint here? Okay. Encampment's right there. Jungle ruins. Okay. So we can just poke our nose in here just a tiny bit. What are these guys?
You are nothing.
Restricted shamblers. Oh boy. Quadrilla. Yikes.
Desert fire.
Okay. There's definitely a jungle. There's definitely a jungle. Scumbrute. Crits. Prevents recovery over 50%. He's dead now.
Make a sweat.
Oh, this is cool stuff. Yoink, 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 yoink. Okay. It's definitely going to be more of an exploration here. Really just look at all the inventory space that's already taken up. My goodness. Just from one guy. Lots of big stuff. Alright. Let's get these dealt with, at least. Oh, Server's got something for us.
We've been clashing with the Orc tribe for generations, but their real fight is with the Azak, and them are losing. The Orc worship the three-headed snake, them poison the jungle, poison themselves, poison us too. Their shaman? Only seen her twice. She moved like a panther in the dark. The coward. Evil in the shadows, my friend. Evil in the shadows. If you find the source of their wickedness, you let me know. I must see it for myself to make an antidote.
The reward is this. Do that. Find the source of the... Is that cool? Poison. Okay.
Don't eat anything colorful.
Interesting.
What have you learned?
Identify all the things. Sell the things.
Anything catch your eye.
Can't use any of this. Evasion
That
rating.
tribe could use that.
Lightning bow. Ish. 1 to 4 lightning damage. Additional arrow, though. Big ol' shield.
It's a deal.
Quarterstaff. And a helmet. Okay.
Keep your
I
eyes.
said they just have
peeled.
another just random quest here. Not sure they were talking about their grandson somewhere. At any rate, we'll be heading out into the jungle ruins. Burn down the jungle. And all the crazy stuff inside it. Next time, goodbye.